Okay, where are we? Ready, set, go. Swap screens.
OneTwoGo.com will get you to your
What?
destination at the touch of a button on your smartphone. Booking bus tickets.
Ugh, there's something ad playing on the damn stream already. Okay, where are we? Off and running. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Scotsman in Asia, how you doing? Steve Monash, how you doing? And let me pop this damn thing out. Where's this pop out? Pop out chat. There we go. Right. I think we're up and running now. I thought I'd do something different today and take you for a motorcycle ride. Where are we? In typical Thai style, how many people can we get on the back of the bike? Pop over for a beer. Hey, Brett Higgins, how you doing, buddy? Okay, so where are we? Wife in Pittsburgh, shares right, blah blah blah. Perth, Scotland. So, what are we going to talk about today? Haven't done a stream for about a month, so I thought I'd better do one. Q&A. That's what we want to do. Q&A. You guys ask the questions. I'll answer them. Sinister. G'day. How you doing? This is a first green screen of some. Oh yeah, okay. No, I'm just feeding in a live video. I decided, to take the ride videos that I do. This is the one we did when we went down to the burger joint. So there's an hour's ride in and an hour's ride out. You only get to see, probably 2 to 3 minutes of the ride. I thought, well, some people have been asking, like, what's it really like? So you're on the back of the bike with me, so here we go. I have a question. That's Scotsman. What do you got? Do I have a pension or super? I have neither. I have, I have a superannuation fund, which I have access to if I want. It's quite volatile and it's bouncing around the place all the time. But I haven't needed to leverage that. What I did, with my savings and the money I made from the house sale, I threw that into investments, and they pay me on monthly salary from those investments, which of course I have to go through all the taxation stuff. I've never actually had the pension as being part of my thought process. Well, yeah, so will I get it later? Some people say, yes, I will, but, really when you start to look at what's going on in Australia right now and the bullshit that's been sort of levied from either side of the left and right platform, you got to say, well, in 7 years or 8 years from now, will that really ever be a pension? They're now sort of saying it's now an entitlement, or no longer an entitlement. It's no longer something that's going to be offered to people. They're going to say that they're going to allow you to draw against your home, and if you give your home to a at your deathbed or something, these new death taxes. Oh my God! So 40% of the value of the house, as a death duty, so you can no longer leave your house to your kids. Oh my God, the place is becoming a complete nightmare. But let's face it, the governments of the world, they've run out of money. I think what was it they said, the taxation, not taxation, the planet owes something like $300 trillion. Who the fuck do they owe it to? That's how much debt is on the planet at the moment. It is absolutely a joke. Yeah, the point was, like, Steve, I made my plans and never factored in the age pension. It'll be a nice bonus if I do actually qualify for it. I do have an Australian address, which is where I pay my taxes. But as I said, who knows what's going to happen in I'm 58, so I think pension comes in at 67, so that's 9 years from now. God, look at the traffic we have to deal with. You know, who says I'm going to make it 9 years? Oh, traffic in Thailand, you got to love it. Even with the motorcycle. Steve, I think you cannot be away for 5 or more years if you want to get the pension. That's part of what I was thinking, but again, I do have an Australian address. I am paying my taxes in Australia. I do qualify as an Australian resident, so it's a real dicey area. But as I said, I've never made plans for it. If I do get it, I get it. If I don't, well, I don't. Well, Scotsman, yeah, like we went down and explored this marriage route. Yes, it was one option, but it's completely not recognised here under the Thailand system, if for want of a better word. She's a Thai national ID card. I get absolutely no bonus whatsoever by having her married in Australia. I don't get any, they can't then sort of give me what they call all rights that I'm entitled to as a foreigner marrying a Thai if I married her in Australia. So we just said, well, it's pointless, these bullshit ideas that they have. We enjoy our life being together. Good afternoon, Alan. Alain. I still have said that name right. I know you've been following the channel for quite some time. I still don't know how to actually say your name. I think the best thing to do is just do what every other, red-blooded, Australian does. Minimise your taxes as much as possible. I'm now looking at, what options I've got to actually move all my assets out of Australia and just completely dist Australia altogether. Get a passport in Spain or something like that. Or take a trip to some other, island country and move my funds there. Was it Cayman Islands or something? That's the one that's always on the tip of everybody's tongue. I think you can't talk about the Cayman Islands until you get at least 5 million to invest. But yeah, every government's going to shaft you no matter what you do. I think currently with the $18,000 a year threshold, non-taxable, that's actually not a bad taxation system that I can leverage at the moment. But then again, maybe I'll just move all my money to Thailand. I've got a lot more confidence in their banking system than I used to. pension rights should be transferred. Well, I said I haven't investigated it. I would like to know more of this particular area, but of course, that then rocks certain boats. That like the whole idea is I try to be sort of hide in plain sight and minimize everything. I just want to enjoy my life. I could not enjoy my life in Australia when Chanya was over here. She didn't like living in Australia, and I don't blame her, especially in her gender being sort of ostracised. Like I've got a few transgender friends. One of them's been hospitalised a couple of times because she was beat up by these red-blooded Australians that have got no respect for anybody. This could have easily happened to a Chanya walking down the main street of Hornsby. Who knows? She just never felt comfortable about moving out of the house or getting out of the house when she stayed there. So she came over for 10 weeks the first time, 5 weeks for the second time, and in both situations you could just sort of see that she's just ready to go home. She's got her support system, she's got her friends over here, she's got her family over here, and that's really, like when you start to think about it, that you got to think about these things. My father passed away 6 years ago. My mother passed away. Well, she was killed in a car accident only a month ago. I've only got my daughter in Australia, and she really didn't want to have anything to do with me. She wanted to live her own life. I'm sure that if she falls into some sort of strife, the first person she's going to call on is, Dad, send me some money to get me out of trouble. Well, you should have thought about that 5 years ago, darling. I'm not a walking ATM. Even Chanya knows that. Scotsman, that's a good question. Have I always... I must do this video at some stage, but it's a good point to talk about it. I've been playing... G'day, Wayne. I've been in that scene since my early 20s. There were some things happening when I was, around about the age of 26, 27, where I needed a change of scenery, and there was this one girl at work where I was working at that I had my eye on, and she was, what you would classify as had that lot of tomboyish sort of outlook on life. She was a bit of a daredevil. She was a bit of a those sort of girls that she's not all prim and proper. She was she'd get down and have a beer with you and talk about football and all that sort of stuff. Made a play for her, and then 6 months later she's moved in, and we spent 20 years together, and I managed to move myself out of that other scene. One, because the fact that, especially in the transgender arena, you cannot really have children. That doesn't really work. Genetic children, that is. You get the idea. But then there was a lot of things happen in the family, and then 15 years into the marriage, you start to get, things happen. And what happened for me was a friend of mine in the pagan scene rocked up at a meetup that I was running out of Newtown at the time. I was running the Sydney Witches meetup group back in 2002, and Eric rocked up with his girlfriend, or transgender girlfriend. And it was just like, it just brought back all these memories, and I just realised that I cut off a whole sort of section of my life to do the regular thing and have a regular family and have a mortgage and have debt and have everything else, which I never had in my 20s. And it just all came flooding back that I really sort of sacrificed a good part of my life, which was pretty much part of the downfall of our marriage. I just wasn't going to accept bullshit anymore. And again, lived my own life, and so we grew apart. We still love each other, but we grew apart, and she left when the divorce was settled. She moved back to England, and 6 months later I met Chanya. I think that's a good snapshot of what happened. Anyway, so getting back to it, Wayne, g'day Wazza, how you doing, Wayne? Getting cooler. I think it's single digits in Sydney now, isn't it? I don't know. I can't handle it when Sydney gets to single digits. Yeah, do you think your traffic? Look, this is traffic here in Thailand. This is even on a motorcycle. Like, okay, I could probably do a bit more what they call lane splitting, but my handlebars on the cruiser are a good 6 inches wider than these scooters, and so it makes it a lot more difficult to do this. And no way can I do that turning circle, where they cut in between the lanes like that. I just don't have that tight a turning circle on the bike, so I have to sort of put up with sort of traffic like that whenever I can't really get a good break. Okay, so Brett Higgins, it's a shame that people still can't feel safe in Australia. Look, I think it's good. It's not so much in Australia. I think Western civilization itself is getting worse and worse. I don't know what I can say there without sort of inflaming particular minority groups. Yeah, even in your own home, yes. So somebody can break into your house, bash you over the skull, take everything, and you've got no leg to stand on, right? If you attack them or kill them, you will be thrown in jail for murder. What the hell? So you've worked for 50 years, you've done everything right for 50 years, you've got your house, you've got you've got your assets, right? Somebody decides the fact that they don't want to do the 50-year stretch. They come in and take your 50-year stretch, and then you get to spend the rest of life in jail. What the fuck is that all about? Really? Do Australia have power lines above ground? They did where I lived. But that was a fairly old suburb. I believe some of the newer estates, where my father, when my father moved out of the house that I bought off him, when he moved out to Kellyville, the power was actually underground in that estate. But that estate had only just been built in the, I think he moved out of the house was 92, 93. So I think the estate was built in 1990. UK only has high voltage above ground. Well, I found some places in Scotland in the 90s that still had above ground power, but yeah, generally it's below ground. Wayne York, the federal election is coming up soon here at Wazza. Two clowns that I don't have a clue. Yeah. What can I do? Like, vote for your independence. I think the only way we can go forward is an independent sitting government. This whole idea of two-party preferred system, right? There's just no way, because both parties are picking left and right-wing issues to try to pick up that 5% majority of the vote, right? So vote for your independence, but they've got to be true independent. They can't be aligned one way or the other, right? What we need is them sitting in government, right? A government with a hung parliament, Labor and Liberal, with 10 independents. We're going to sort of see a lot more things happening, right, than you would with a Labor or a Liberal government. Look at what we've got coming up here in Thailand. It still hasn't been announced yet, but I think the 3 or 4 or 5 major parties are all forming an alliance-style government to take on the sitting junta. That could actually do well for Thailand if they allow it and if it actually goes through. But I think they've still got 30 seats that are being scrutinised for breaches of their electoral office rules, owning shares and things like that. And that may take a couple more months before that's finalised. But I believe that they're about to announce, I think the 9th or the 10th, that they will announce the actual sitting government. What, sinister? You have what? A right to defend your property. Using reasonable force. That works, I think, across most of Australia. Reasonable force, but you have to catch them and wait for the police. Right? You cannot kill them. Right? If they do die as a result of that reasonable force, you will be subject to manslaughter. And there's no way out of it. It's just that the rules are totally trumped up in the favour of these guys. Oh, it is ludicrous. 3 clans, including Palmer. Yeah, I don't know how he's going to do, but is it better to have a monarchy? I don't know. You're living in England there, sort of Scotsman. No, you were living in England. Was the monarchy good in England? I really don't know. I do feel that the planet needs to come. I think I was sort of saying this to Stephen Monash last night. I think what we need some sort of one person supreme leader with altruistic idealism, right, to run the planet, because it's totally stuffed everywhere now, isn't it? You got sort of 7.5 billion people on the planet. They say the 9 billion in the next 10 years. The planet is just going to shit. What's a marijuana party? Well, you guys can sit for that. Elect that party. I think that is a Senate sitting, isn't it? I'm not quite sure. But again, do we want a whole bunch of dopers running the country? Well, actually, maybe we do. Maybe they'll make better decisions than the current government. Well, that's right. I actually asked my daughter when she was at school, did they cover politics in studies in their senior years, and there was nothing to do with political studies or commerce. The whole schooling system is completely sort of stuffed up now. At least when I was at school, we did study politics and commerce and the things that would the things that run the country, which helped you sort of make better decisions, but not these days. Governments don't want people knowing more than them, right? Just bring back a government by or and of the people. Well, ideally that's what we want. A government that the people elect. Look at what's happening in England. The majority of people said we want to exit the European system, but then of course by seat and everything else, I think they had a majority of each constituency saying they wanted out of the EU, but their elected representatives said, no, we know better than you people. Well, we elected you. What the hell, Follow our lead. We want out. We elected you to get us out. Get us the damn hell out of here. But no, that's the way it goes, isn't it? Play it safe, play for a condom party. Yes, Stephen, why not? So we got dopers running the... Yeah, that's right, we got dopers running the country now. Is that lead singer from was it that band? What was it? What was he? Midnight Oil. Is he still in government? I know he was in the Senate somewhere. I thought he would actually be a good Senate leader, but supposedly no. Well, maybe we should start a movement about different colour shirts. If you're voting Labor or Liberal, wear a red or a blue shirt. Can you safely walk down the street now? Okay, so this overhead is is a new MRT line which was supposed to actually open last month, but they still doing some final prep. I believe it does open this month, and it goes from Petkasem Road at that taxi wasn't watching where he was going. Yeah, so the Moorbunkay is where it starts. It goes all the way down this road on Petkasem Road, goes under the river, and it links up just south of the MRT at the Lampon. I'd have to sort of go and look exactly where that is. I've actually got that somewhere. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking. Let me see if I can find that for you. Yeah. Google Maps. And I want to go to search. Why does this thing here not bring out the stuff I want to? Oh, there we go. I got to do that. Your places saved. Maps. Bangkok transport system. Okay, so this is what we're riding under here is this red line one. Oh, no, that's not that one. No, this one here. This light blue line, the blue MRT. So it runs and it comes in and joins up at this station here. Where is it? Lampon. Why is it not giving me the actual station names? Yeah, but anyway, it goes around underneath the river, comes up here, joins up with the existing MRT line, goes all the way around up here to Chatuchak, then comes across there, goes back under Bang Sue, under the river again, comes all the way back, and then joins back up around here. And then there's another line that hasn't been built yet that'll do another circuit around here, which is the what they call the grey line. I think there is some work being started on that. The system is actually going to be quite good when it's finished. This is like a 10-year look ahead of all the BTS and MRTs. But again, it's two separate companies, and will they ever join up? Who knows? Okay, enough politics, boys. Yes, good idea. Let's talk about important things like beer. Yeah, I've got something coming up tomorrow. I don't know if I will actually vlog it. Where's it? Where's my events? Home events. I saw this one here coming up tomorrow. It's actually on Soi 4, Nana. It's a little bit down the road. So if we take a look at the map, right, so Nana Plaza's up here. This is a bit further down. I think I've been to this particular nightclub before, but I love the name of it, Psych Force Chaos Bar. Since I am a chaos magician, thought it might be something fun to go and check out, but who knows. Here we are under Bangwa BTS, which is currently the extent of the BTS line, and where I usually jump on to head into the city, if I'm not riding, that is. Anyway, let's get back to, I'm losing track of things. I think Germany, a German company built the BTS line, yeah, and I think it's a It's a Chinese Thai conglomerate that did the MRT, and that's why the two of them are not going to join up, because there's too much politics involved. Okay. What is it? Reggae Reagan for Reggae Reagan for PM. Where am I going? To Bangsu? Where am I going? To Bangsu? No. We're off into the burger joint that the video went up today on. This is actually the full ride. I downloaded the same as you, the Bangkok Transit Legend. Yeah, it's very hard to actually find that map. When I did find it, I made sure I saved it this time. Did Chanya? Yeah, like, did you see her? I said all the photos. Oh my God, she was in her element. Of course, she wants a house with a yard so we can have our dogs. Because I've specifically said, if you're going to have a dog, you can't keep them caged up like most Thais. Oh, that is just ridiculous. I feel really sort of sad for the people, the dogs, that we have around here. They're either a toy dog, and seriously, you can't really have a toy dog in your house. They're not a real dog. Give me a shepherd, give me a kelpie, give me something. Give me a man's dog. I love a man's dog. Beagle, but they're going to have somewhere to run. And that's one of the things. I just don't think that there really is. And of course, all these toy dogs, Thais get sick of them after 5 years, and then they end up out in the strays anyway. I personally just won't. I specifically will not have a dog caged up if we have a dog. I've told her that, and we have differences of opinion of it. But at the moment, she concurs the fact that she's on side with me about that one. But yeah, look, we've got the dog cafe. We can go and pat dogs every month if we want. Now, I didn't even know it was there. 2.5 years here, and this thing pops up, the Dog Country Cafe. It's going to be a wonderful video. I've got some great footage. That'll be out after the next video. Oh, excuse me. Well, Scotsman, how much are they going for? We've got an eye on one house here that has a little bit of a yard, but we don't know whether it'll ever come up and what they're asking for. The Thai property market is saturated in certain areas. People can't sell condos. But yeah, anyway, let's moving on. Justin, how you doing? Nice of you to join us. I'm all taking everybody for a ride into the city. So we currently got 14 people on the motorcycle. How's it feel, Dog cafe. I didn't know they drank coffee. Well, they don't, thankfully, but you'll see that video. It'll be due, so this video comes out, and so tomorrow's Friday, so probably Monday that video will come out. So we'll see how that one goes. I've got to put it all together yet. Got all the footage staved up. Stephen Monash, do you ever go by my old school? JL. Just living, okay. Sure. Is it on the corner in the McDonald's? Yep. Don't run the poor girl over. Thank you. Yeah, on the subject of properties, yeah, like I've been reading recently that a lot of the properties in Pattaya, a lot of the condos, they're sitting empty and vacant now. And part of the reason why they're sitting vacant is the Thais seem to have this idea they'll buy these things and make an investment. And you know what property's like, it's falling rapidly in Australia, it's falling rapidly here for saturation here in Thailand, but the Thais seem to don't get it. Well, you know, if you want to sell a property, you have to ask a price that people are going to buy. So, you know, asking 3 million baht for a condo that is probably only now worth 2 million baht, well, you're not going to sell it, but they don't seem to get that for some reason. It's worth 3 million. I want 3 million for it. Well, you know, you're going to keep on wanting because nobody's going to buy it. I think that's quite strange. What's the latest on Kev? I think Stephen Monash has been bouncing things past him. I know he was messaging last night because he was sending some links that I posted to Stephen. So he's then sent them onto Kev, and we got a thumbs up from Kev about the videos that we sent. So we know he's okay. We know he's still alive. He's still kicking. So, but as I said, Stephen might be able to fill us in more. There we go, doing okay. Yeah, the treatment's taken its toll. He recently had an injection to increase his white blood count cells. He's in good spirits. Well, that's the latest on Kev. I don't pester him on the messenger. He is one of my closer confidants on Messenger. But as I said, everybody must be sort of pestering him about wanting to know stuff. So I've just said to him last month, I said, look, I'll just leave you in peace. You don't need to need to hear from me as well. When was this recorded? This was recorded last. Well, when did I do? When was the ride to? I know the video just went up today. So this was. What was the recording date on that one? Let me sort of see if I could find out for you. There we go. Recording. There's okay, 30th of April. So that was, if I can bring up my calendar, last Tuesday. So. G'day Darlo, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we're all taking a motorcycle ride into was it Mother Trucker Burgers. This is the video that was just put up today, but it was recorded last Tuesday. I stitched all the SJ cam footage, that's the helmet cam footage, all in together into one big video, just to plan the background. Just to give a moving picture rather than a static screen. I bounced the idea off Stephen last night, and he said, "What a good idea." So this is what we're doing. We're all taking a ride into the city. Give you an idea what the traffic's really like. So Wayne says Thailand Rob has done some updates. So I haven't seen any updates on his channel, but maybe he's put some updates on his Facebook or something like that. Buying and selling houses are like stocks. You don't lose or gain money until you do the transaction. Well, that's right. It's one of those sort of things. I know my index fund, which is my superannuation index fund, which is like a personal super. It's not one of the state-funded ones. That's a basket of 7 different commodities, and it no, November last year was doing pretty good. January this year it lost 16,000, but by May it's now made up that loss and increased by another 10,000, which is pretty good. But again, it's fairly volatile. It's a very volatile breakup. So whether I actually decide to pull all that money out before they change the superannuation laws, that's the thing that's on my mind right now. It's a big worry. They could turn around and say I'm not entitled to the money. What they call the early retirement mandate. I could draw on that fund at the age of 56 because I was born in 61. But they could pass a law tomorrow and just say no, you can't have it. And then you don't get to do it. And the way things are going, the government wants the money more than I do. So who knows? I think it really sucks. You sign a contract with a brokerage firm, superannuation guaranteed and all that sort of stuff, and then they'll pass a superannuation law that means what you put all that money into, then turn around and says sorry, it's now our money. That's what they can effectively do. That what the fuck? Just pull it out, and if I pulled that money out and pull the other money out of other investments and just worked on banking interest of maybe 2.5%, if I use fixed term deposit, that money would probably last me 30 years. And will I last 30 years? But the whole idea was to invest it, draw on that money when I needed to if something came up, like currently the big ticket item is putting a deposit on a house here. That's something that's in the next 12 months of our life together here. Having it as a nest egg is one thing, but it'd be nice just to say when I depart this planet for the next realm, at least Chanya's got something that she can live on. She's going to live another 30 years longer than me, or at least 23 years longer than me. It'd be nice to know the fact that when I depart that she'll have something. And if I just took the money out and worked off banking interest, will that be enough for her? These sort of things, they constantly on the back of my mind. And what do you do? They could. What happened in Italy 5 years ago? They took 10% of everybody's deposits. So even your deposits, in your banks aren't safe. What the fuck, Put it under your mattress, you get a home invasion and somebody can take the lot. Oh my God. It's scary when you start to think about it. Anyway, getting back to the stream. Yesterday, on this Tuesday, I think it was actually quite a clear night last Tuesday night. This actually has got the daytime or the afternoon ride in. Then we shot the video for the footage for the meetup, and then I've got an hour's night ride on the way back. Which, if you've never been on a night ride, you might want to stick around for that. That'll be in 19 minutes. Yeah, so I haven't seen anybody do this. I've seen the idea of doing a video, having a talk on a video with something like this bike ride in the background, which is what sparked my thought about the whole thing. Yeah, I had to take this route instead of the overpass because that overpass there, bikes aren't allowed on it. This is one law that they really need to fix up. Why can't I go over the top? I've got a bloody bike that's worth more than most of these cars on the road, yet I have to sort of do what all the motorcycles do, and I have to go through the traffic zone. Oh my God, it's bizarre. Laws that were made in the 70s still need to be changed, but that's Thailand for you. Anyway, okay. Getting back. Yeah, he did. He cleaned up. We ran out of burgers. Actually, he didn't run out of burgers. He still had plenty of patties left, but he ran out of the actual buns, which he hasn't done that for some time. But we did tell him we were coming. He just didn't really believe. That's the thing. You can tell people. You can, it's just something about Thailand. Today is today. I will worry about today. Tomorrow, well, tomorrow is tomorrow. Anything can happen tomorrow, That's an attitude in Thailand you have to get used to. I still get it every day with Chanya. Like, I'm going to tell her tonight when she gets home from work that I'm going to go to this thing on Soi 4 in Sukhumvit, show her the thing about what's going on, show her my friends who have said that they might go along. There's two of the riding group said that they're thinking of going along. She'll sort of say tonight, she says, well, that's okay. But tomorrow, then she'll get all up in arms about me, the fact that, I'm 200 yards away from Nana Plaza, or something like that, Living with women in Thailand, you're going to have to deal with this stuff, really. Yeah, 1962 was a better year. Well, that's only because no go with it, Stephen. Government never knows when to get their grubby hands out of our wallets, income tax and a host of others. Yeah. It's I don't know what you're supposed to do. Me and Steve were talking about this last night. You make plans, and as soon as you start to see, a light at the end of the tunnel, you realise it's a fucking oncoming train, and they're going to stop that happening. You just can't win. And of course, suicide. No, you can't do that. That's against the law as well, because they lose out on the tax because you're dead. What the fuck? Oh my God! Excuse the language. I should keep my expletives down a bit. So look, Dowlow, I love being here. What am I doing today? It's Thursday afternoon. It's 3:45. Mother made breakfast at 11 o'clock this morning. Bacon and eggs. I live in my own house here, or rental, but I've got mother. She takes care of the washing and takes care of the food. And, gotta love her. What's not to love? I'm doing a live stream today because I just felt like doing a live stream. I could be on my bike going somewhere, but unfortunately it's just too hot out there at the moment. We're waiting for a couple of degrees drop in temperature. Have I had a bike crash? I had a couple of spills when I first started riding in Scotland back in 1975. Yeah, I think started riding in 1975. Had a spill in 1976. It dinged up the bike a bit. Took me a couple of days to get that sorted out. Had another sort of near fatality, you might sort of say, in 77. Had my best mate in Scotland. He rode into the front of an oncoming postal van and did a full somersault over the top of the van. He sprained his ankle, but totally totaled his bike. In Australia, when I was riding, did a lot of trail bike riding. So that doesn't really count because you're always taking spills in trail bikes, especially on trails. As for car rides on the road, had a couple of spills. I know there was one. I had a rear brake lock up in wet weather, and to solve the problem, I just basically jumped off the stirrups on the bike. The bikes went sliding sideways to the left-hand side of the road, and there's me skidding on my feet and on my ass down the slippery wet road. Again, dusted myself off, picked the bike up, and continued on. But I've really had no major accidents. I've had a couple of drops, but nothing really serious. Good evening, Pat. How are you? I think I'm just not as reckless on the road. Here's me. Look, I could have probably taken that little gap down there. There was enough room, but the traffic's moving. And I don't want to scratch the Ranger. They're worth 700,000. That's a brand new one. Scratching those sort of things. I might have insurance, but come on. I'd rather not scratch somebody. But there goes a scooter. No problem. There goes another scooter. No, so he's finding it a little bit on the narrow side. But anyway, okay. Dale, you're over in August. Okay, definitely look us up. We'll go for a beer or food or something like that. Quote of the week: light at the end of the tunnel, and it's an oncoming train. That's an old one. I didn't make that one up, Brett. And g'day, good evening, Brett. How are you doing? So my regards to Feth. I will. Don't worry. I always sort of try to sort of fill Chanya into who's following and who's paying attention. Well, I thought I'd just make sure that they're up there in front of everybody because, this is a monetized channel, and I don't want YouTube, pulling the whole damn thing down because of some unsightly comments being made. And that's what will happen. Again, I want to sort of keep it above board. There's enough grief going on with sort of some of the people here in Thailand that, too butthurt about something or other. I don't know what their problems are these days. And again, if you want to slide us a few bucks here, hit that little sort of dollar sign down the bottom. Buy me a beer, as Kevin would say. But yeah, so others have had problems because of the flavour of the discussions. I would like to sort of offer more than just a rant and rave these days. My ranting days I'd like to think are pretty much over. I've got some ideas of what they call topic pieces, which could be very controversial, but although the rant videos, they get great views and they get great comments and everybody having their 2 baht worth, or 2 cents worth, or I don't know, 2 pennies worth. They really don't do much good for making people feel good about something, if you know what I mean. I'd rather try to focus on helping people feel better about the whole idea of Thailand. As we sort of say, it's not a bed of roses. There are traps everywhere you go. But as I said, here we're sort of as foreigners, we're sort of ignored by the authorities as long as we dot the T's and cross the I's, turn up every 90 days at immigration, as long as we, keep our 800,000 baht in the bank, and as long as we sort of don't ruffle anybody's feathers, they tend to basically ignore us. I quite often be riding down the road and I nod to police, on their bikes, and they'll nod back, and I'm not ruffling anybody's feathers. But there are people here that sort of seem to want to bring Australia to Thailand, or bring England to Thailand, or particularly bring American idealisms into Thailand, and quite frankly, the Thais don't want it. So, those channels can do that sort of stuff. I'm going to try to just do the Thai thing and, sabai sabai. Oh, Justin, thanks, mate. It always works. It gives a nice little ring in the earphones when that happens. We'll be in Bangkok for 2 weeks. In June, we'll try to meet up with you and Chanya. Look, yeah, definitely. Just the best way to contact us, Pat. Make sure you're on our Facebook page. We've got the Facebook videographers page, but I don't sit on that. Doesn't work like Messenger the same way. So make sure you send us a fresh friend request and just drop us a instant message. I'm also online now. My line tag is PopeKael. So if you've got Line, you can add me online. I've changed the photo from pinhead to actually a photo of me with a dog. I did that yesterday, so people actually know it's me rather than, because see, people see this name PopeKael, they don't know that's my gamer's name. So anyway, Johnny Rotten, good evening. I do have the Discord running if anybody knows how to run Discord, but I don't see anybody joining in on the Discord chat, but it's always there if you want to come on and say hello. Now, I could do the same thing online, or I could do the same thing on Facebook, but again, I have to approve those people to come on, as I have a fairly open idealism about people and everything else. I'd rather say, here's the Discord channel, come on and say hello, right? I will be able to remove you if you go too far, say the wrong things or want to have a fight or something. But if you click on that link down in the description box down below, what am I doing? Discord, yeah. Let's get that off their screen. You want to see the bikes. So the Discord channel does exist. If you want to jump on the Discord, you can say hello if you know how to use it. It is a little bit technically difficult for those people who are, technology shy, but ultimately it's just the easiest way I found of being able to sort of have a party line that I don't have to monitor or look out for you. Just come on. As I said, we could do the whole thing with Line or Facebook, but then I'd have to get involved like Joe was doing the whole thing. Send me a friend request on Facebook, and then I'll send you the meetup, hangout, thing and all that sort of stuff. And it's just too much messing around. I just like, most people don't really want to have their face on the damn video anyway, but they like to say something. So, links down below. It'll take you through a setup process if you've not used it before, but definitely sort of hit that Discord thing. It's easy. It's like Facebook Messenger on steroids. It's the best way I like to put it. Okay, where are we? Cement truck, more cement and concrete. Again, on the subject of cement, people never really bring it. We talk about greening the planet and everything else. Cement actually is one of the worst producers of greenhouse gases in the world, and it's the amount of concrete that is produced in a day accounts for something. I think it was about 8% of the greenhouse gases on the planet. People don't even know that. But anyway, enough of my little, bits of miscellaneous bullshit information that needs to be talked about once in a while. David Warren's run into 7-Eleven. Yeah, I wanted to run into 7-Eleven down. Actually, no, we were going to Villa Supermarket. Was it Villa? Yeah, I think it was Villa in the video. But that was the closest Villa to us. Yeah, Johnny, I'm doing we're all on the back of the motorcycle today, so to give you an idea what it's like to ride, ride in Thailand, just imagine, typical Thailand motorcycle riding. Here we are. I particularly love this one. Check that. Only in Thailand, honestly. No, Central Plaza, that's Central Plaza there. That's out, I'd have to look at the map. I can't remember exactly where it is, but it's not Central Westgate, no. Yeah, that's Darlow. What you're hearing in the conversation from the handlebars is actually Google Maps Navigator. I found, like I said, it costs nothing apart from you need to power your phone, and get the right little. Yeah, well, just make your way and cut across in front of me. Why don't you? Yeah. There we go. Line. Somebody has sent me a line. Say hello, line. Roaming geek. Is that what it is? No, it's a. Who was that? John Sellens. There we go. Add him. I don't know if I was actually supposed to say your name, John. Only people on Facebook know who you are. Yeah, I know who it is, Johnny. I still don't know how the little icons on that thing work, but you know what it's like. Somebody else online wants to talk to me, but yeah, we're running. Look, I get sidetracked too easily. So hey, let's just focus on what we're going for a burger. Okay, so this is what we're doing. So did you see what Central Plaza it was? We just passed it there. I didn't actually see the name on the side there, but it's just down from the map pin that I left. Justin, he just sent me a line request. Line, is he? Line, yep. I'd already had you online, Justin, anyway. What do we talk about? Yeah, but I could feed the line in if you wanted to chat now. Do you want to go on voice online? I can do that if you want. I'll keep an ear on the Discord. So Justin and Johnny, do you want me to set up a little Facebook, a little line group, and we can have a conversation on audio online? Just hit the yes or no. Yeah, here's the mother truckers on the right. There we go. And the parking attendant was giving me this guy here, giving me grief because it was a big bike and he wanted the little bikes out of here, and we had already been approved. I was the first, of course, to arrive. And he's trying to give me grief, and anyway, I won't do my. So let's move on to the next video. You don't want to hear me arguing with this guy here. Yeah, you know my PIN number from my phone now. I'll have to change it, won't I? Damn it. Yeah, this is me setting up the route home on my phone. Yep, click on home and click. Yep, it's wait for it to catch up. Catching up. Oh, actually, I don't know why I did. Anyway, what's with the Harley Davidson test rides? Wonder if you. Look, as I said, I only just do this because I love certain things. I never look at anything to do with sponsorship or whatever. Mind you, things are coming up. People have been sort of bouncing ideas on my email. They want me to sponsor this and sponsor that. But again, I'm a little bit one of those sort of guys that sort of says, well, unless of course I actually do like what you're sponsoring or wanting me to sponsor, I'm not going to sell my soul, right, or sell my audience for something I don't believe in. I know it's a bit sort of narcissistic, but I'm not going to sort of say buy from Banggood instead of what's the one I use? AliExpress, because Banggood are going to give me 50% on all products I buy from there. What? Well, I'm sorry. your website doesn't work very well. I don't like your search material, right? And the pricing's no better than I get on AliExpress. So it's not about the money, guys. It's about the fact that I don't use you. So get off my email. Get the idea. But anyway, it's getting sidetracked. So, do you guys want to come on voice with line? We can do that if you want. Let's sort of see if I can make a group chat. Create a group. What am I going to call this group? Wazza's live stream. And we're going to add, to start with, we'll add Ethan, Foreigner Joe. Who else can I add? John, Justin, Pat, if she's around. Oh no, that's not Pat, that's Pat there. Where is it, Pat? I don't know which Pat that is. Oh my God, too many people. Multiple line accounts with single people. Tim, right, that's the group. So I said create the group. Right, so is that... Okay, so there's a group and it's now on and I'm calling into it. And that's going to make that go thing. I didn't really want it to do that. Unless, of course, I can fix that and I can put the volume of the motorcycles back up again, can't I? So there is a line, guy. You can just call into it. And let's see if it works. You have to obviously go voice, because I'm not going to, we're not going to, let's minimize that. Yeah, so here we are, we're on our way, we're on our way home now after eating some very lovely burgers. And I don't know if the line chat is actually, so John says he's joined, but I don't hear him. Maybe he's got something, maybe he's got a problem with his microphone, who knows. One thing about driving in Thailand is you're going to have to get used to these things up here, these little counters on the lights. They just seem like, oh, okay, you have to turn your other volume down a bit there. We've got some feedback. Feedback.
That was me.
G'day, John. How you doing? Hey, Justin, when you do come on, just remember to cut out the audio on the other. You don't need the motorcycle voice. I don't actually. Do you actually hear it through this audio loop? You probably don't, do you? I've not actually tried line before, so you know. Again, with the OBS, with the Discord, same thing happens. Once you go on the audio stream there, you don't hear what's on the computer. I'd have to do a complete mixing desk, like Stephen bought that big mixing desk. I'd have to get something like that and take all the audio out of everything and then put it through a mixer and then feed it all back in again. Oh my God, I don't have that sort of money to waste on a live stream. Sorry, guys. So how you been, Jono? Countdown's coming up.
Yeah. Don't forget to keep the 28th screen, mate, for a meet up at the Aussie Bar and Grill.
Well, are we going to do the Aussie Bar or are we going to do Down Under Bar? I say we should be supporting my girl Susie and the Down Under Bar, right? She's my favourite. But it's up to you guys.
Yeah, look, we'll just start off at the Aussie Bar and Grill, because I'm going to go there for lunch and just open suggestions after that.
Right. So Stephen sort of says the voice is a bit muffled. You can hear it though, guys, can't you? Just do a test count for me, John. Let me sort of see if I can fix it up.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
5, 6.
Well, that's better. That's better now. So I can bring the.
Any better now?
Yeah, let me just add a few more dB to the audio channel and then knock the motorcycle down a 5 dB. Okay, that should be a bit better.
Yeah. Off the headphones and that.
That's all right.
So we're open mic now, so yeah.
We'll hear me feeding back through that. That's all right.
I'll get your volume up a bit. I'll have to turn it down a bit.
Yeah, headphones. You need like I'm right wearing the earbuds, so nothing should feed back through there because this microphone here is actually quite sensitive. And I was actually, with these headphones. Cheeky. Brett Higgins can't hear. Well, what can't you hear?
He probably turned he's probably before he goes on the line program he turned the volume down on the YouTube thing.
Well, maybe he did, but yeah, if you're not actually on the line chat, line voice group chat, because I don't think I've got Brett Higgins on. Once we start the call, I can't add anybody else to it, which is that's what I mean. It's about the maintenance thing about the audio. With the Discord, anybody could join if they had the link. Whereas with Line, what we've found is you actually have to set the group up, and once the group is talking, you can't actually then bring in other people who want to join midstream. You actually have to close the call, pick up their identity, add them to the group, and then put them back on again. Put the audio back on again, which is a little bit of messing around. I can do it quite easily on two screens without upsetting what's going on, but other people, without the two screens would mean you just see it all being leveraged on screen. Looks like, who's that? Ethan Moon. He's sort of, I don't know if he's actually going to join us in the conversation. Maybe he's just accepted the fact that he's been joined on the group, but he can call in if he wants to, that's for certain.
Can you hear me properly now, mate?
Oh yeah, your sound's coming through quite fine. But Justin's either just hit the OK about joining the group, and so is Ethan. But I don't think they've actually come on the audio. So Justin on the audio. I don't know. I can't control on your side. What did you do, John, to get to hear me?
I just pressed the buttons and everything it told me to.
Yeah, it's got a little. You've got to press the little headset thing to call into the group, right? So when you're a little, by the way, look, I'm using the desktop version of Line. There it is there. So on my desktop version I've got this little phone thing which I can call into the group with. On the, I said I don't think I can actually show you on the phone here, unfortunately, because without.
Yeah, I've got Line on the desktop also.
Yeah.
On the laptop, I should say.
Yeah, I don't know what the actual what you do, what you click on the app on the phone, but I'm pretty sure it's just one of those sort of things. There'll be a little telephone option for you to. You'll see the group. It's called Wazza's live stream. I added sort of 6 or 7 people to it, and you just have to click the button and then click the call into the group button. And then once you've called in, you have to turn the audio off the live stream on the YouTube. Otherwise, it'll just have that 7-second or 8-second feedback loop, which will annoy the shit out of people. But anyway, getting back to the well, anyway, getting back to what I was saying, the 28th of May. I've got it penciled in, but as Thais, we don't make plans until 2 days out, because anything can happen,
I understand that. Now, I couldn't get you the Vicks nasal stuff.
Couldn't you?
I
Oh.
tried. Well, the thing is, I got your, the one, Nile. Is it a Nile one? Or
Okay, yeah, Nile's another one. It's just one of those sort of things. I think the Vicks was always better than the Nile. But yeah, either one. I just can't find an equivalent here in the chemist here in Thailand. They want to give you these little, what they call menthol sticks and stuff like that, which really they do diddly squat.
Yeah, well, the funniest part about it, I went to Woolworths, I went to Coles, I went to a couple of chemist warehouse type joints. I went to the local chemist. And
Yeah.
They all had the Nile one, not the Vicks one.
Really? Oh well, that's
Yeah, so I said, well, bugger it.
there.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah, there we go. There's a good plug for Nile, right? Vicks, guess what? You missed out, So if you're watching this live stream, you're doing a disservice by not making sure the chemists and the supermarkets are stocked with your product. There we go. So we've bought the opposition's product. How's that for a plug for Nile?
Exactly right. If you're not there at point of sale, piss off.
Yeah, Stephen's sort of saying those sticks are addictive. I know, like Chanya's always got one, sort of at least within an arm's distance, when she gets stuffed up. But to me, they just do diddly squat. I can suck on one of those things. I usually sort of say it's Thai cocaine because you watch how many Thais are sniffing on it all the time. Seriously, you're sniffing Thai cocaine again, are you, darling?
Yeah, actually, the ones I've got here from Thailand, Hoi Cyan, and they're the eucalyptus ones. So they got eucalyptus, menthol, camphor.
You'll have to point that one out when you're over here. Point it out to me because maybe I've been missing it. Because if it's got eucalyptus, like again, it's product of Australia, isn't it? Maybe that's what I need. I'm Australian born. Maybe I need that eucalyptus extract in the sniffing to clear the sinuses.
Funniest thing was first time I went to Thailand, I took a bottle of the eucalyptus oil.
Right.
And because I wasn't aware that they grow those crappy bloody blue gums over there. But anyhow, long story short, it came in very handy. You put some of that in the sink in the bathroom of a non-smoke room in a hotel, and the eucalyptus smell would go right through the hotel while you sat in the dunny and had a smoke.
Well, there you go. Little hotel tricks there from Johnny. What was that thing you posted on Thai Visa this afternoon? You having a whinge again?
No, it wasn't me. I didn't put anything on Thai Visa this afternoon.
Well, somebody's either using your name, Mr. Johnny Rodden.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, you posted it.
I wouldn't have put anything on Thai Visa. I put on my Facebook channel. I put whack one up about the Fijians and the Chinese developer.
Let me sort of see. Well, I'm sure it was a post. I just noticed that I was looking at something on Thai Visa today. Let me go to my mail. Would help, right? Forums, Thai Visa. I was watching this. I was reading that the top article: filthy, dirty Pattaya beaches. So having a whinge of, the locals having a whinge about the foreigners and the beaches. Yet they're talking about the black colour of the water. Well, that wasn't to do with foreigners. That's to do with your pretty piss poor frickin' drainage system shoving all the road dirt out into the damn bay. But you can't. But yes, so there was a discussion started. Popular. Obviously, it's no longer a popular discussion now. But I saw something there. I was sort of sure. I saw it said your name.
Oh yeah. I did post one. One bloke was asking the best way to get around Bangkok, and I was saying, first up is the it's the metro, taxi.
Right.
Time it's quicker to bloody walk.
No, there was something to do with like the next 5 years. You were thinking of Thailand's no longer the destination. I can't find it now. Like trying to find something you've read half an hour ago or an hour ago. God, it's as bad as Facebook. Anyway.
Oh, well, I might have linked. Something I put on the old channel to in reference to with some of the stuff and people's ability to comprehend
Yeah.
written down.
I can't bring it up now. I can't find it now. Can't find it now, so it's putting water under the bridge. But it was a good point. Like this is again we're all about Q and discussion, and what's people's thoughts about the Thailand in the next 5 years, and it's no longer the destination haven. We've said that before. I think it's a really good discussion piece. No matter when you're doing a live stream, Thai authorities are going to have to wake up to the smell of roses sooner or later. The fact that the imposition of order is going to equal escalation of chaos. But they're making it harder and harder for foreigners to sort of make the Thailand as their top destination haven to retire in. That's really what it's getting down to. I have no alternative. Like, I don't think Chanya would ever choose to live anywhere else in Asia. I know she won't live in Australia because it's too cold. So, where else in Asia would she move to? Well, she might consider, Cambodia or Vietnam, but, I wouldn't move without her. And her family's here, so I'm stuck with the whole, dealing with the bullshit that goes on here, from time to time. Whereas other people, like people who are considering where they're going to retire at now, well, they can sort of start to make decisions about that. There are better places than Thailand now for retirement, or cheaper places. Vietnam being one.
That's along the lines of dream I did. I entitled it to "Who Wants to Be a Millionaire," and I did the research on a bit of visa stuff, and $1 million in the local currency and what it converted back to Australian money. A little bit of the spending power, mind you, that took a hell of a lot of research, and there was probably 10 times more to do. But just for the points, and it depends on your safety issues.
Yeah.
It depends on what you want out of life, quality of life. Like myself, I've got a Thai wife, so Thailand or Australia is our only option as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, just hold on a second. Renzo, hi Renzo, thanks for joining us. Anime series. Well, back in my younger years, what was that one? I can't remember the name of it. I haven't watched anime for so long now that I can't even remember the series that I used to watch. I used to watch X-Men, the animated series. I used to watch Spider-Man, but that was like, that was the 80s. I think, I must say, I think I've watched a few Pokemon episodes as well, because I did have a daughter. Dragon Ball, yes, I used to watch Dragon Ball when I was had my flat in Australia. But again, that was partly to the fact that I had a daughter again as well, what you tend to watch.
What excuse did you use for watching Green Acres and Gilligan's Island?
No excuse. Sorry, no excuse. I just come on, Gilligan. He was great.
Yeah, well, I was more interested in Ginger and Mary Ann.
Oh well, yeah, yes, right, yeah, but I think the professor always sort of got me thinking. And the house, well, hey, but who didn't watch Gilligan's Island? Come on, couldn't you swim off the damn island? Seriously.
It was small enough you could paddle it.
Well, it's not so much that, it's the fact that they're inventing all this stuff on the island, building these massive houses and things to play and all the stuff that they do, but they couldn't repair a boat. You know, come on.
Yeah. But you know, you've got to get a laugh out of the old Green Acres.
Green Acres. So what was the Petticoat Junction? God, that shows my age, doesn't it?
Oh, Petticoat Junction, Billy Joe, Betty Joe, and Bobby Joe.
Yeah, the three forever spinsters.
I don't remember them.
you don't remember them? Oh, come on, you must be as old as me.
Sam Drucker's store. Yeah.
Sam Drucker's store. Oh,
Well, what about the Clampets, mate? If we're getting right into it.
Oh yes, yeah. They did a rehash of that movie only what 15 years ago, wasn't it? There was the Beverly Hillbillies movie. Really didn't have the same sort of flavour as the actual series, but yeah.
They never do. All those remakes just seem to lose. They just seem to lose its with. Yeah, because it was pure and honest, and it was what it is on the day, you know. And to try and remake them kind of ruins them to my way of thinking.
So WWE. So he's asking who was our favourite WWE superstar? Is that the World Championship Wrestling or something? Is it? I don't know. What's WWE?
The American wrestling. That's the American wrestling.
Yeah, I haven't watched that for I think the days of Hulk Hogan. I think it was probably the last time I watched that, but he's now a movie star. He's not a WWE star. What was that movie he did back in the late 80s? They're Amongst Us or something, and he that wasn't Hogan. That was somebody or other else. Anyway, getting sidetracked. Well, it was as Jerry actually said, pull your head in, Mr. Scotsman, right? I won't be coming over there and knocking on your door in Hogmanay and sharing my bottle of single malt Scotch whiskey with you, okay? How's my daughter? I haven't spoken to my daughter for 3 years. I think the last was April 2016 was the last I spoke to her, when I told her to come and move her shit out of the house. And we haven't spoken since. She took half a dozen items and says, I don't want the rest, Dad. You can throw it out. So I threw the rest of it out, and that's it. Just last I saw of her. I sent a few posts on her Facebook, but we brought her up to be her, independent thinking woman. And she's so damn independent thinking that she's completely dissed her parents, There you go. I think we did too good a job. Thunder GT, good. Go on, sorry.
Remember Mario Milano and Spiros Arion?
I know the names. Was that Australian wrestling, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Australian wrestling, with Jack Little.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Microphone.
Oh God! Oh my God! And it was all in black and white back then too, wasn't it?
Yeah. Even the red was a different shade of grey.
Right, Scotsman. Does Chanya have any adopted nieces or nephews? Look, this is a real can of worms when it comes to Thai family. I honestly do not know who is genetic family any more than probably past cousins. Like, so, we've got Dan. She comes here and works in Mother's little sewing bee, and that little one that you see on the videos, that's Bill, right? She's Dan's daughter, so technically that's Chanya's niece. But there's two other youngsters that come in downstairs who the lady that works downstairs is still classified as family, but I don't believe that she's actually genetically related. If she's genetically related as family, it's probably 3 generations, 5 removed, but that's the way Thai family is. Our family sort of trees are, usually sort of, what's blood relatives, cousins, nieces, and nephews, and anything outside 3 levels up in the tree, they're marriage material. Not in Thailand. I still haven't worked out how it works.
Yeah.
So how old is she? How old is my daughter now? So those sort of 89, so she'd be now coming up to 30 years old this year. I think that's who you're talking about. I can't remember what time of night this was. This was coming up to 9 p.m. at night on PopeKael Road. Oh my God, it was complete bedlam. Yeah, I didn't want to go through this gap because there's a bloody Mercedes there. I didn't want to scratch the Mercedes. They cost a fortune. Scratching one of those, scratching even the rear vision, the rear vision mirror there, will set you back a couple of grand.
See, instead of that big bike, you could have got the scooter. Look at the bloke in the scooter.
Yeah, I know. So that's what it means. So I could have ridden in on a scooter. I could have ridden in on Chanya's bike. I actually need to do that because she's not riding it. I need to at least ride her bike once a month to keep it in good condition. Unfortunately, I favour my bike, so I'm always jumping on my bike. But maybe what I should do is at least one ride out of every 4 I should jump on hers and ride her bike. But her exhaust is over 95 dB, so it definitely worries me about the fact they're getting pulled over, for a loud exhaust. I could dispute mine because...
Do it early in the morning and go up those little alleys and then really give it to it and throttle it off, lean it off a little bit, crack the pop. Yeah, that'll popularity.
Yeah. My exhaust is 90 dB, or actually 90 dB when I measure it with my sound meter, which is on my phone, or it's 92 dB with one of those professional handheld devices, which we actually had it tested when we were out at the MotoGP, the MSP park. And the girl there had the handheld device, and we got her to test mine at 4,000 RPM, and it registered 92 dB at a metre away. But the law says 95, and again, how good's the calibration? So I'm actually thinking of taking my bike back to the guy that did the exhaust and probably put a second baffle in there just to knock it down a few more dB. But Chanya, she's got the Davio exhaust, and it's it's got a really nice sound to it, but it's freaking loud. And it loud.
That's the trouble on a long road.
Yeah.
They start to really buzz a bit.
Okay, I think I made this point in the next video about ambulances. See this flashing light up ahead? I think that's an ambulance trying to get through. Right, and that's it. Nobody gives a fuck. That's it. If you're in if you've had a heart attack and you're in an ambulance, guess that I think they say there's 20% of ambulance patients being ferried to a hospital will die in the ambulance because they simply cannot get through. I think that's the next video, so I've just thought I'd...
Imagine if they had the same concept as over here, where everybody has to pull to the left and, get out the bloody way and let the ambulance go.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's the law, but here's the ambulance just cannot get through. Right? He's totally stuffed up. And he's got, I don't know where he's actually going to as well, but, here we are. We're ahead of the ambulance. The ambulance just cannot go anywhere. Too bad if you were in the ambulance and you had a heart attack and you're on death's door and you need that, need something that they can only provide at the hospital. Well, guess what? You're up shit creek. But anyway, we'll do that more in the actual video. We can comment about that when the video comes out tomorrow or the next day. But what else is there? How old is she now? Was only got a big bike, so you could so I could not catch. No, I said, Stephen, if you want to come riding with us when you finally get over here, we'll let you be ride leader on your 125cc step through. You know, we like to include everybody. We can catch up to you. Actually, no, something like this, you probably actually you'd leave us for dead. Traffic like this. Look at them, just zip, zip, zip. Stuff that shit. John O'Brien. Okay, sorry, missed that. John, is it Bangkok forever, Warren, or do you see yourself? Well, that's the thing. We don't have any decisions right now. I actually really like living in this Muban, which is Soi 106 here on PopeKael. It's where Chanya has spent pretty much most of her life as a child. Mother's here with us because she stays in our house. Father is only around the next block. It's the back of the temple there. He's got a 50 square metre plot of land he leases from the temple, and that costs him 500 baht a month for that lease. And he's pretty much got that plot of land for the rest of his life, as long as he pays his 500 baht. So moving from here, that's a real big question. I personally, if money wasn't an object, I would definitely go and be joining my mate Robert down in Chanya. It's really a nice area. But the price of land and everything else and building down there and the lack of amenities, and it's 2 hours away from family and all that sort of stuff, it does make you think, is it worth it? And I've said this on other videos, apart from doing meetups and bike rides, I really do not need to leave PopeKael 106. Everything is here. All the food is here. What was that? was that something?
Just thing to telling me there's another live stream happening.
Was it? Okay. Yeah, but sort of whether I actually want to sort of move out. I'm happy being here. Everything's here. All the amenities here. We're close to hospitals, close to everything, and I don't have to think about anything. It's just so simple. Whereas Chanya, I do often think would be nice to go and just hang out at the beach this afternoon. At the moment, it's a 2.5 hour ride to go and hang out at the nearest beach. That's worth hanging out at, which would be Chanya. Anything closer is not hangout beach-worthy material, if you get what I mean. So, but again, I've never been a big beach guy. I used to love going to the beach, probably once a month, when I was in Australia. But my life wasn't, revolved around the beach, if you know what I mean. 6 months of the year was too cold to go to the beach. Anyway, I think I know something about John O'Brien is busy. Thanks, John. Thanks for the little sponsorship there. Looks like we're eating at a restaurant next week. Trouble is where to pull over.
That's right. That's where they've got to learn the technique of merging. But in that, I've been in one taxi driver I had in Bangkok. He could make 3 lanes and he probably drove at 100 k's an hour. he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Sometimes you see ambulances and they'll get motorcycle riders to ride through and flag the traffic down, because half the time they don't hear the ambulances because they've got their radios at full blast in their car. And I've actually seen that, an ambulance can get chaperoned through the traffic by 1 or 2 not so much motorcycle police, but just normal people, good Samaritans. They'll get in front of an ambulance, and right ahead, and they'll start flagging to tell people to move sideways, and then you see them pointing behind to say, look in your fucking rear vision mirror, there's a freaking ambulance behind trying to get through. This is an emergency. And yet they do start to, you start to see this sort of, cooperative effort, but it needs, as I said, most of the time they just don't hear them. There's just so much noise. About the ambulance getting better in Bangkok since they started. Yeah, but they've started finding him. But again, you need a police officer there or video evidence. That like, okay, in this video here, there's video evidence that there was a police there, and nobody was like, look at all the people that are not getting in the way. There's all number plates 4130. Just not getting in the way. The ambulance is 100 yards behind us. Find them all. But that won't happen. This is Thailand, if you know what I mean, and that was a week ago. They need more the hounding on social media. I think that's where the fines are being being leveraged. Is people will post videos of from inside the ambulance of a person that's sticking in the lane and will not move sideways. That's what they're going to have to do, and they're going to have to get out in the social media there and start to, name and shame people, right? Then things start to move. But in traffic like this, where's people going? There's no way people are going to get moving. The police just do nothing about it. This road here is a clear way from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. What is he doing there? Why is he not being fined? It's ludicrous. Again, it's 9 o'clock at night, so they probably argue the fact that we need to get our supplies off. But this is not a supply shop. That one there, it's a shop set up in the middle of the damn road. Why is he not being bloody fined? Because the police, it's not on their list of to-dos, if you know what I mean. Not want to give them a bad name, but they're starting to talk about bringing in what they call it, Japanese style anti-alcohol laws, like 0.15 blood alcohol, you'll spend 3 years in jail, no matter what. The problem is the laws are adequate already. These sort of things, that's a law. The law exists. Do not park in a no parking zone, in a clearway zone. Enforcing the laws is what's needed, right? And that requires more police officers, right? And a little bit more of the a little bit less of the sabai attitude. And that's really what we fight all these days. Is it'll be all right. It's okay. Who's really being inconvenienced? These only stopped there for 5 minutes, but it's the traffic jam that it causes. It's really quite incredible. But anyway, moving on. I'm losing track of where we are.
You're right. A lot of it comes back to the education, and the only way they're going to change it is start teaching a lot as young children, and bring that through all the way through their schooling, so that they get that. But you're right, the sabai, she'll be right. That's fine. As soon as they jump in a car, then they're friggin' terrorists. They'll
Right.
run you over. They don't give a shit.
No,
They're walking around, they win with everybody else.
It's so true, and it is like that. There's like I don't want to speak ill of family, but B, for instance, that Chanya's older brother. There's two positions on the accelerator pedal. It's on or off. Right, driving in traffic, you get whiplash when he's driving in traffic like this, because how close can I get to the bumper in front? Oh, and then it'll stop, and then it'll move, and then he's boom, stop. You get whiplash. When we're going for the longer trips, oh God, it just drives me nuts. And part of the problem, he actually has the same short-sighted, which means he needs glasses to see in the distance. Is that short-sighted or long-sighted? I keep on remember the two. Well, I need glasses for reading. Yeah, so I need glasses for reading, which means I'm long-sighted. So short-sighted means the fact that he can't see 20 feet in front of him, or it's all blurry 20 feet in front. But he will not wear his glasses because of vanity. Same with Chanya. Chanya can't, we're in the shopping centre, and I said, there's the shop we're looking for, and it's 50 yards ahead of us, and it quite clearly says in Thai the name of the shop, and then in smaller font it says it in English that here's the particular restaurant. And she says, I can't read that. And it's in big letters in Thai and small letters in English. And I said, yeah, that's such and such Ranahan, you know. And she will not wear glasses.
Put your glasses on.
But I don't. Again, it's you don't call people out in Thailand. This is my future wife. I'm not going to give her a bad name. But seriously, darling, put your glasses on. I pay 3,500 baht for those prescription glasses, right? And you don't wear them. It gets annoying, you know. And I'd quite happily go and buy, B, some prescription glasses if it'd help him drive better to see what the road is doing 300 yards ahead of him, you know, rather than the way he drives. God. Don't go into this lane. Can't you see that there's a truck in this lane ahead? I can see a truck 200 yards ahead going at, half the lane speed here, right? And you're going to cut in there, and then you're going to cut in front of the next lot of traffic ahead of them. Oh, come on, B, just the way he does it. Anyway, I don't want to speak ill about it, but I think it's like most Thais are short-sighted, and they don't wear glasses. They just can't see the traffic in front of them. They just can't see that there's a gap there.
You go back to the old style of driver training, Warren.
Yeah.
Give him a right cross every time he starts up and he'll learn.
Right turn, Clyde. But again, it's...
You've got to be kind.
Yeah, well, it's just one of those sort of things. Sabai, look, I've been here for, coming up to 3 years, or 2.5, at least 2.5 years. When did I come in? September, so was it May? Oh, God, it's 4 months from now I have to do my renewal again, don't I? Damn it. So I'm coming up to 3 years, and I am. You can whinge and complain about it, but I didn't die this time. I probably won't die next time. Sabai. As Chanya would say in the videos, smile, smile, smile.
Yeah, while it's gritting your teeth.
Where are we up to? Bring back trams and land. Can you imagine bringing back trams and Land of Smiles?
That'd be brilliant.
No, they wouldn't get out of the way of a tram either. Come on, railway tracks in the middle of a road. Seriously, I think they did the right idea of putting the trams, up above all the traffic, so the trams could actually get through, which is really what the modern BTS now is. It's a tram circuit. And tram-style accommodation,
Well, realistically, the BTS and the metro are good things, but at times there's just not enough room. It depends on the time you're travelling, and that's why you've got traffic also.
Yeah. Buy some contacts, yeah. Maybe that's what we need to do. I need to get her some contacts. She's always wearing contacts, but she's wearing the vanity contacts. The colour eye. Thais do not like their black eyes, which I think is one of the most endearing things about Thai girls. 100%. I don't know what you think about that, Johnny, but the dilated pupil was always a hot thing in meeting a girl in the West. The dilated pupils meant that she was interested, right? There is a certain thing, reading body language. I don't know if most people know that stuff. Maybe I'm letting a bit of a cat out of the bag about how to date women. But, a woman's eyes will dilate, or pupils will dilate if she fancies you. Always stand, sit in front of the light and things like that. Little tricks. But the black pupil, then the black pupils with the black, what they call that colour part where it's black. That always to me was, I just think it's just so sexy. But she wants to put freaking coloured contacts in to look farang. What is that? But yeah, and of course you can't get those coloured contacts in a prescription lens, so you're pretty stuffed, aren't you? What type of music do I like? I'm a 70s 80s rock fan. AC/DC. That's top of the list. Meatloaf, AC/DC, Pink Floyd. That's my style of music. Patti Smith and the Dropkick Murphys. Never ever heard of them. Patti Smith, who's that? I'd have to go and look that one up. Anyway, to each their own.
Actually, most of the Murphys I knew were Dropkick.
They can see Scotland. They can see that it's all bullying drivers, bargaining their way. Yeah, that's it. But there is there is a sort of an etiquette that I have learnt, and it's if you are 1 inch. If your bumper bar is 1 inch in front of theirs, you have the right of way, and so if you gradually creep across, they will concur and let you in. But it gets to really close paint scraping sort of etiquette, and how bold you are. Taxis are the worst, but I sort of understand it now, and in the car I'm quite comfortable with driving. The bike, well, you just have to deal with the bikes, they're predominantly bike aware. Most people in Thailand grew up riding on a bike, even if they might not have a license. But I think the game. Somebody sort of said, when what we need in Australia and other places is, play those car travelling games of spot the bike for the kids in the back of the car. Make them bike aware from a young age, so that they're always looking for bikes. That's what we need in Australia. But here it's, there's so many bikes, and pretty much everybody started on a bike. They are bike aware. Apart from those snotty arseholes that are well to do and have Mercedes Benz, 6 Series and 7 Series, and probably have a chauffeur driver and everything else to go with it. They might not be so much, but you know what I mean. Predominantly 85% of the drivers in Thailand are bike aware, unlike 20% in Australia.
Yeah, that's a good one. Give the kids a book saying spot the motorbike in Australia. Oh, there's one under a truck over there. Oh, there's one over there at a hedge bucking.
Yeah, I'm just watching the time, so we're coming up to the 5 o'clock mark, the 2 hour mark, so 10 minutes. So anything, let's just get back to the audience. I'm sort of completely forgetting what people are doing here. Questions and answers. You've got two of us here. Throw us some questions our way, and then we'll sort of begin to wrap up the show. Because I've only got 20 minutes more footage left on the live stream. I'm at the start again. I have to go back into the city again. So from Pakistan, Tara support. Yes, good afternoon. I know it's one of my subscribers. He's every so often we'll sort of see a comment down below. He's been following the channel for a while. Patti Smith sang "Because of the Night." Look, you'd have to take your word for it, Thunder. And as I was sort of saying before, good to see you joining in. Scotsman, some English drivers, some English driver, not bike aware. I would have said most of them are not bike aware. That was back in the 70s when I was riding there, though.
You forgot to say hello to Paul in Sydney, Aussie.
Paul in Sydney, Aussie. Did I miss? Paul. Oh, Paul is. Hey, g'day, Paul. How you doing? God. I need better glasses myself. Maybe I should put my 1.5s on. The trouble with all the spanners is the fact that the ones with the spanners are the ones that I focus on, and the ones in grey I'm sort of missing. Maybe I'll take all the spanners off. No, we don't really have too many arseholes. You've got bloody supporters there. You've got to address them at least once a night. Yeah, I would like to. One thing I'd like to see in YouTube though is a way where you could flag a person on, a supporter or a follower, or what they call them, a channel follower. When you follow a channel, if you click something on them to sort of highlight the fact that there's somebody right? Not so much make them a sort of a spanner, but like a respected, just not one of the crowd guys, So you got the normal grey ones, and then you can click something and say, yeah, I know who John O'Brien is. He's a sort of guy that's comments all the time on the channel. I'm going to give him a red. A red exclamation mark to know the fact that this is the real John, and he's a respected, member of our community. But again, and then of course even get to the extent the fact that know who your community are, and then be able to say this video on YouTube is only for community members. That would be a great thing to see and introduced into the whole YouTube genre. But I doubt the fact that it would really sort of help the YouTube bottom line to actually give some power to the people who actually run the material, would it?
Big Pigs. G'day, mate. How you doing? Thanks for coming along.
Pig Pigson. Strange name, but good evening. That was somebody else just subscribed, I think. I can't see who it is underneath the thing.
Good bloke. One of my subs too, was it? Yeah, good bloke. Always gives good comments.
I couldn't see it. I'm going to move that little subscribe thing across into the window. I'm sitting underneath the rules. I couldn't see it.
Don't forget to do your plug.
Oh.
Share, subscribe.
Oh, like, share, subscribe. Yeah, I actually did a little. I've got a new add-in on the video thing that just drop that in there and it does the 4 in a row, but I can't do it on this because we're just watching a video live. Like we could be watching, Age of Ultron right now or something. Oh, we could be watching porn. Yeah, so I have to go and download some. Damn it! But you know what I mean. Where's it? Porn Hub or Porn Tube they call it or something? I don't know.
Oh, horizontal. G'day, mate. How you going?
G'day, horizontal decline. Anybody else we've missed? We're getting up to the 5-minute mark, so I suppose I should do a bit of a. The traffic goes on for another 14 minutes. Getting on to a little bit of the sponsorship and plugging. Get on to so. No, guys, don't forget the website. This is our community, obviously for the channel. This is the people here. We always put our videos up here, pre-screened first for members of this community. You can join there. What they call there's a membership. So you've got members only pages. You can just log in and create an account to comment. Alternatively, you can, if you don't want to have an account here or a membership, you can subscribe to the automatic posting of when videos are released, so you get advanced warning. It works similar to Patreon. We have got our Patreon members and we highly respect them, but I'm really doing them a disservice. I'm not doing many videos for them specifically because I've asked them to tell me what they would like videos done on and they never tell me. It's a bit of a rock and a hard place about doing exclusive videos for my Patreons if they don't tell me what they want to watch. But they also get to see the early release of the videos. I'm a bit more about community and building community, which again, so this is our community website for the channel. The community where we want people to come and join us is this one here. This is called the New Thailand Hub. There you are, Stephen Monash. Thanks for putting the link up there. Set yourself an account there. You will need to have a legitimate email account to verify when you do create your membership. That's the one thing they were trying to do there. We're trying to sort of make sure people have something to lose because we can backtrack through IP addresses for anybody who wants to come and do the wrong thing on a community that we're trying to build. And we will be doing the things like YouTube don't do with all the trolls. We will keep a record of those IP addresses. And if you decide to be a bad boy on the channel, right, we will have a log of the bad boys, and we'll go through and do all that sort of stuff. And oh, that's from the same IP address, or that's from the same IP route. That's the same provider. We think that you're just another one from the same bad bucket, and we'll make sure that that won't happen. But you get the idea. It's just one of those things. We can do that technically with these sort of our own websites. I wish YouTube would do that as well. It would be pretty nice to actually have them police their following. But yeah, this is it's like Facebook. If we get enough people on this platform, I'm quite open to give you an idea. Currently, we've got 35 members. We're getting sort of the March period was when we sort of launched it. We had a bit of interest going there, and there was, of course, a lot of work in the background, sort of people coming on. But we've got people coming on, and we're just into May. 35 members, so I think 5 of those are test accounts. Most of the stuff's the material I'm posting. But ultimately, it's something we're trying to do is, get people, or give people an alternative to Facebook. Facebook is, like Facebook. This is a little bit more private. You can create your own Facebook groups, right? So you can have friends of yours join your Facebook group and have a private community, which I will not get to see unless, of course, I join that group. I've put a thing into the developers to sort of say, can we have a moderator status so we can actually bring some moderators into it? But we do hope you will enjoy being able to sort of do things here and keep things going. There's also pages like Facebook, where we have pages where you can create a page from your account. Like I've created another resource here for the videos that we produce. And this is just keeping the videos we produced separate from our activity on the group. What I'd like to do is I say, come and join it, get involved, build the community. There's a few people active, but as with everything, it's going to take people. People will make this thing work. Don't forget, you can create posts in here, and if you've got you can then post these links into Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Pinterest, Telegram, email, to share the posts. People will see these posts when they're posted on those other platforms, and also bring in new people into the group. And again, if you've got a channel, you can help run the website by actually buying what I call it, ads. You can create your own ads in here. The prices, we've got what they call per click plan, $2 US for 120 clicks. That's a click through to your website or to your YouTube channel. There's also a cost per impression, which is the impression style things. I won't go and give you how, if you want to contact me about that, it's very simple. And again, just the people will see the ads. Right, here's one here, this Top Tech Monkey. He's joined on that program. Scrolling down a bit further. Yeah. Okay. Why is he getting top billing?
Is that impressions, Wazza? Is that like that Marcel Marseille?
No, not really. It's impressions is if somebody has seen this one here, the sponsored ad here for our channel, once you're an account and once you've seen that, so that's an impression. It doesn't sort of say every time I see that ad, does that count as impression? No, it's not. It's basically, if you've seen it, I think it tallies them up for every month or something, and I can go and sort of see my ads. How many? Where is it? Where is my ads? Oh, there we go. That's the 2 ads that I run. So what did I say? I got 35. I got 30. That's a per clicks. There's got 35 people. That's had 32 impressions. right, this one here. So the impressions basically will only count as a new person has seen your ad. These are the click-throughs from those ads. Right, so, getting in early, getting those ads up will help sort of get those ads seen, and we do. We want to build a big community. I'd like to see a couple of thousand people using this website. But yeah, that's high hopes. But anyway, I wanted to just give that plug of those two things. Don't forget, you can always sort of, if you're not already on our Facebook, you've got here on my Facebook page. Look, I'm always getting friend requests from these unknowns. I mean, how many have I got on here now? Jesus Christ. That's my Facebook. It's private. Leave it alone. Anyway, and the YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Anyway, so we've just gone past the 2-hour mark. Anything you want to add, John?
No, I'd just like to say, I suppose for a bit of a test run on this, Wazza, I think it's worked out all right, although a few people talking about volumes and a bit of stuff like that. That's something we can work on. I think it's an easy way for the future. I'd just like to say to everybody that came along tonight, thanks for coming, thanks for supporting Warren, and I'll probably see you around the traps.
See you when you get here, and we've got the 28th penciled in. What's the 28th? Yeah,
mate, no
28th. Yeah, we're doing a pub crawl, starting at the Down Under Bar. I'm putting the Down Under Bar as being Robert Groves. He's finally sold the house, 200k down. Ouch, 200k down on price. I'll talk to you about that a bit later then, Robert Groves. That doesn't sound all that good, but hey, it's the property market. It's in decline. People are starting to realise that that brick and mortar wasn't worth it wasn't worth that much. But anyway, we can have a discussion about property prices. I think we said we're going to do that at some stage in the future anyway, as soon as I get more material about property in Thailand. Anyway, I'm going to shut it off now, and thanks for joining us.